course, before we start, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we live, create, and learn on today, paying respects to elders past, present, and emerging. We are here for part 2, the finale, with Rames Harikrishnasamy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Joanna?
I'm doing pretty good. My chair is a little squeaky today, but hopefully the mic won't pick
Oh,
up on that. But having a good time, excited for to wrap this up, to see what the
yeah.
final character Simon, what his final outfit is like. But before we start, before we do the little bit of our previous stream, I just want to say, if you got any questions about what we're doing today, about Ramesh's work, pop them in the chat. So whether that is the chat on YouTube or on Behance, either way, it doesn't matter. If you got questions, we want to hear them. So comment on them in either of those chats, and we will do our best to answer them. So I can see in the chat we've got Mohammed and Paloma, so welcome. And without further ado, Ramesh, take it away with the
Yes.
recap.
Sure. Thank you so much, Johanna. So today we're gonna again continue working on Curious Simon. But before that, what we did on the part one is that we literally create Simon. So how Simon looks like is that like this again, removing all the parts that we have added, the goggles, the cap. You guys can see how far we have come within part one itself. So I'm removing the shadows, the boy itself, and then we also have the device over there, and then we also have added some color lookup and all that. So I already pre-created the background way before because I think we're gonna save time to just concentrate on creating Simon and his outfit and everything else. As you guys can see, it's all based on the mood board that I've showed earlier in part one, where again we're gonna go for this steampunk theme. So again, Simon has this awesome, unique steampunk outfit that I want to create. So you guys can see the circle ones are the one that I got inspired of. So these are stuff that I'll be adding onto him today, the rest of it. So yes.
Excellent. We went through so much last time, but we've got a few special tricks up our sleeve for part 2. So I'm not gonna keep the good people waiting. Take it away.
Thank you. So now we're gonna look into adding jacket. So as you guys can see right above here, right underneath the character, I am gonna create a new folder called jacket, and I'm gonna start creating the shapes exactly like how I did in part one, where in order to create an outfit, you don't have to literally walk the cloth onto a person. All you have to do is start creating the shapes. So I am going to start creating the shapes like this. Again, trying to imagine if his collar is until here, and then going right on top of his body. And if you notice, I have a bit gap over his skin and not following exactly, because as you all know, our clothes are a bit further away from our body skin. So always bear that in mind, right? So again, we want to be realistic enough in order to create a realistic looking photo manipulation. So yeah, that's the key. You need to make sure that all this what do you call keywords, like highlights, lightings and everything must be there in order to make sure that your outfit looks real. So you don't have to worry if it's not so perfect, because we can always adjust later on. So again, I'm using polygonal lasso to actually create the shape, and I'm gonna just drop it a color very quickly to guide me through that this is where the jacket's gonna be. And I'm gonna just zoom in here and just change my brush to something really sharp. You go hardness to full, and make sure the flow is high up, because I'm gonna have a very dark shape around where I left out some of the skin. Like you guys can still see the skin. I'm gonna just refine the edges before I add in the material. So these are
And
just
could
the
you zoom in a
masking.
little bit for us?
Oh yeah, can.
Excellent.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Perfect. There you go. And I'm gonna just, as you guys can see, again, I'm back of my head. I already know this is the material, and I want to have this little, a leather shape around his body. And if you have like a shape that is not really in the place that it should be, and then you can always erase it. You don't have to worry a single thing. Again, Photoshop, right? It's all about creating magic. So okay, I'm
Absolutely.
happy with this. and it's time to add in the jacket. So I'm going to borrow the jacket from this guy over here. Let's drag in this stock image.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a huge one because I want to make sure that I have a very high res. Oops. Okay, there's some problem over here. Very quickly, I am going to just restart.
No
Sorry about
worries. We
that.
can see more of your beautiful work while we
Thank
wait
you.
for Photoshop to reboot. That's a great trick to have your own work as your desktop image.
It's just that
Very smart.
when you work on like cool stuff, like for example, I've been using Photoshop like for many times today. You have to make sure that you always save your work, just in case. So yeah.
Absolutely.
All are catching up with the part one. In case you haven't watched, you do watch it right after this. So yeah.
Yes, no, absolutely. It is available still available on Behance, but to catch all of Ramesh's previous streams, I do recommend that you check us out on our YouTube, and that is linked in the description. And actually, I will just post it in the chat as well while I can.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. APAC, YouTube. There we go. Isn't technology wonderful?
Yes, it is.
There we go. Posted it there and
So
there.
we're done restarting. I'm gonna just open back the file. I have it saved.
Fantastic. And I was curious actually, because it was such a high res file. Where do you generally get your source images from?
Oh, there's a lot of free sites and there's also pay sites. For example, most of the time I got it from Adobe Stock, and then there's also Unsplash that I love to use. So again,
Yes.
Unsplash for a quick work. Like for example, if I want to do something like in terms of like a banner and whatever not, I can quickly use Unsplash. So for very high res, then Unsplash would be the paid sites. Again, super important to make sure that your images are very high res again, because the output is super important, right? So you want to make sure that it's as detailed as possible. And I am going to just open back the file one more time, and rather than importing it, I would open it up, and then we see how it goes. Give me 1 second. I am trying to open up that image separately, and then we will get to see it. There's also sites like Pexels, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's also a very good site where you want to get a high res image. So it's free, if I'm not mistaken. Pexels, Pexel. So yeah. So that's that. And I am going to just cut the portion that I want, which would be over here, like this. Again, I don't need the entire body, so it's just that portion that I need. So there you go. Select it. I'm gonna copy it, and let's go back to the jacket, and we're gonna paste it, and then I'm gonna, as you can see, it's super high res. So I convert it to a smart object because I probably do some morphing and whatever not, and I'm gonna just resize it quickly, make sure that it fits the body before I mask it. They go like this. Johanna, I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, I can hear the music though. So that's the jacket. Meanwhile, while Johanna fixing her mic, I am gonna just continue talking to make sure that you guys know what I'm doing right now. Again, I am just like masking over the shape that I've created earlier today, and just zooming in to show you how am I gonna do that. Again, this is just a repositioning. And then I am going to do a bit of warping. And warping helps in terms of like just making sure that I filled up the space that I want to. And I really like the part where it got squished over here, because again, I want to be a realistic, right? When it comes to photo manipulation. So that's perfect. And I'm gonna just make sure that I darken up this area over here. How do I do that? Always make sure your normal change to soft light, change it to black, and then again, here's me coloring at the bottom here. There you go, like that. Again, always make sure that you know where the light comes from. Earlier to on part one, I did say that the light will come from the source, which is the device, which is going to add the special effect right after this. But before that, we're going to quickly add in the what do you call other parts of his body, which is the clothing part. Oh, that's perfect. And I'm gonna just darken this area. As you guys can see, I'm trying to imagine, right? The light comes from the front, so this part over here will be slightly dark. Let's create a new layer. I think Johanna is trying to start her computer or something. Let's see if we can get her back while I'm hosting this show by myself. It's a great experience. Okay, looks good. I am going to just zoom out to see if everything looks perfect. Yeah, that looks good. Johanna, oh, hidden my face trying to see if I can refresh the tab. Okay. And next, we're gonna add in the pants, the steampunk pants. So let's call this pants, and I'm gonna create a new layer right on bottom of it, and I'm gonna try to create the shapes. But before that, I wanna just trim the diaper because I think it's a little bit big, and I'm going to just follow the flow of his body like this, and I'm gonna just end it over here. And then I'm going again, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to remove this part of the diaper because it's a bit huge over there, and I'm gonna just cut it out like this. Perfect. You don't have to worry so much on the leg portion over there. We don't have to stamp or hide it for now, because I will be adding the pants. So right on top of here, the pants, and I am going to add in the pants. Before that, let's do the pattern. The shape of the pants will look like this. So I'm assuming this is where it flows like this. And if you guys remember from the mood board, I'm trying to get the pants that is slightly over here like this. It's not full until the feet. And I'm gonna just do the masking over here and then hide it at the bottom. And I'm going to color it black again one more time. Okay, but I am going to drag the pants at the bottom of the jacket so that it goes underneath the jacket, right? So let's drag the pants right below jacket. Perfect. If you want to do a little bit adjustment, you can here. I'm going to change my brush to black again, just to fill out the space over there and over here. Maybe a bit more. There you go. This is perfect. Now I'm gonna bring in the pants, dragging in the pants, and then I'm gonna just mask it. Always remember one thing, right? If I hide the pants, you get to see the shape of the feet, which is it's bending right now. So always play with lighting to make sure that it's also reflecting on the pants. So I'm gonna just drag in the pants like this, and I'm gonna just see where it works the best, like in terms of like positioning, right? So I'm enlarging here. There you go. Again, just like the jacket, right? You can see all this crumpling happening. I want to make sure that it's also happening on the pants, because again, end of the day, I am going to make sure that everything really sticks. So if he's bending his leg like this, it should be some sort of like crumpling happening at the bottom. So I'm going to maintain that. Okay, Johanna is saying, all right, going to leave now and come back. Hopefully, oh, okay, I'm fine with it, Johanna. In case we couldn't hear her back, she will just use text to communicate. I think that's fine. Okay, that looks perfect. Okay, so we have the pants now. Again, let's recap. The mood board was using this, right? So I'm gonna do that. Fingers crossed this works. I hope so too. I want to hear you talk. Soft light, black. I'm gonna just increase my brush to something more smoother. Make sure it's soft light. Again, I'm trying to add in the shadows, right? So there you go. Let's wait for Johanna. Fingers crossed.
Let's
Yay!
see.
We got
Did
you
that
back! I
work?
can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Oh my god. Thank you.
We did it.
We did it. Okay, challenges like this is good. We are learning something.
Fantastic. Now
I'm
I'm
learning
getting
of the
some
host.
echo on my end, so I'm just going to fix this.
Okay. And what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to sharpen the pen so that you can see the texture and everything. Oh, Simon is looking good. Exactly like I wanted it to be. Next, we would be adding a bit more pants at the back of his feet. What I'm going to do now is that I am going to create a new folder. Let's call this pants also, but call it back. Okay, there you go. I'm going to create a bit of shape at the back of his feet like this, and then just bend over like that. Pew. Okay, I'm gonna drop in the black color on top of there, and I'm gonna just remove this part over here. We don't need that shape. And I'm gonna borrow back the exact same pants here and drag it at the bottom and mask it. And then we get to have that texture at the back of the feet as well. There you go. Again, this just to make sure that it looks realistic, right? So that's that. Okay, I'm going to color it as well. Is the echo still there?
I think I've managed to remove it. Hopefully it was just on my end, and
Okay.
it hasn't affected the stream. But irregardless of that, fantastic job. 10 out of 10 guest. And thank you everyone tuning in from home as well for bearing with us. And big round of applause for Ramesh. That was quite a feat. Fantastic.
Okay, now time to add in the shoe.
Shoe time.
We're getting there. Shoe time. So if you're wondering how am I gonna add like two shoes onto the feet, there's a trick to it, which I'm gonna teach you guys very soon. And okay, so make sure you remove all the stain, because again we want to make sure that it looks clean. There you go. I'm going to just resize it according to the fit size. Always use your opacity to just what do you call measure, and then I'm gonna just flip it vertically. There you go. And I'm gonna just position it right on top of his feet. This maybe enlarge it a bit more. There you go. This looks good. And another trick that I said that I will share, that I said I will share earlier, is that shoe and then create another shoe for feet, so that so I am going to just cut this very quickly. Again, just follow the shape of the belt that's at the shoe, and I'm going to just remove this, and then that looks perfect. And I am going to remove another one, which is here. I don't need such a high and fit here, and I'm going to just do this. Again, right now we are removing the unwanted stock images from the. There you go. It looks perfect.
Mm.
And I'm gonna just move it up, and you guys can see a bit of fit at the bottom. We can always erase it. No worries.
Fantastic. I was just thinking the strap on these boots is great. Would you potentially have been able to use that for the goggles that we made in part 1?
Yes, we can always reuse. So whichever that comes first. Like if I were to start from the feet, then I know that, oh, there you go. I have a stock image that to get it from. Exactly like how I did the leather cap here, newsboy cap. I actually get the material from the cap itself. So whichever comes first.
Fantastic.
Okay, now we're gonna go
Let's
back
see.
to yeah.
Oh, you go.
No worries. Okay, another tip. There are times where when after you done select subject and then you already remove the background, there's still a white stain around whichever material that you're trying to crop things out. There are faster way to get remove to remove this. You don't have to mask it one more time. All you have to do is click on the masking area, go to filter, underneath other, there's something called minimum. Just look at the white lines, right? Just observe, see what happens. Boom, it's gone. Let me do that one more
Wow.
time. Preview before, after. So yeah,
And what
literally
did it do?
yeah. Oh, it increases the radius around the shoe, so that as if like, oh, that's the area that you wanted to mask even more. So yeah.
Fantastic. I'm gonna write that down and rewatch and
Okay.
save that for later.
Awesome. So now we're gonna just duplicate the shoe, tilted it a bit, resize it slightly smaller. Again, always make sure that you know the ratio of your subject, because again, because the feet is at the back, need to reduce the size of the shoe. So I have reduced the shoe and I'm gonna just position it there. Perfect. Nice. Simon looking good. It's time to work on the shoe itself, where we need to work on the brightness and stuff. I am going to just call the shoes again. Right on top of the shoes, I am going to bring in brightness and contrast. And I need to make sure that it looks darker. So I am going to just darken it like this. Darken it even more. Again, there's a reason behind it, right? Because the light is coming from the front, not so much on the shoe, but you still need a bit of light, I think, because again, you want to make sure that it looks a bit like realistic, because the light might hit a bit of the shoe area over here. So I'm trying to just go in here. I hope you guys can see that, and then I'm gonna just follow the light that's already on the shoe, like this. There you go. That looks perfect. Okay, now that we're done with this, it's time to bring in the special effects.
Special effects time.
Yeah,
Amazing. And
this is
great
one of the
timing
highlight,
too.
I would say.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it
highlight
is.
of the stream. Yeah, no, I will say we're not quite at the halfway point, but we are reaching it. So again, reminder to everyone watching, if you've just tuned in or been watching for a while, if you have any questions for Ramesh today, feel free to post them in the chat, whether that's on YouTube or on Behance. I can see them both, and I will grab all your wonderful questions and ask them today.
Yeah. So let's go to the device, and I'm gonna just make sure that I've darkened it first before I throw in the special effects. There's a reason behind it. Let's zoom in and remove the front part here. It's because I want this area to be brighter than the bottom one. There you go. Hope you guys can see that. That's before and after. Okay, special effect time. I am going to bring in my first stock image, which is this.
Ooh.
Yes.
That is a special effect incarnate for sure.
So what I'm doing right now is that I'm trying to position it as if the ball is lightened up from the inner part of this device. So there will be a little bit of what do you call erasing happening here because I want to remove this part of the glow. Uh, this is just the part one of the effects. There will be more where the glow gets bigger and then it
And I
hits the
noticed,
mm,
I noticed that you did a blending mode, which I realized is not an adjustment layer; it's a blending mode. I said it
uh-huh.
wrong in a previous stream, but yes, blending mode, which
Yeah.
is just kind of filter
Screen.
effect on an individual layer. Which one
Yeah.
was it that you used to kind of
Okay.
really embed the image into the scene?
Very good question. So if you notice, before I change it, it's called normal. When it's normal, you actually get to see a black mark. Again, this glow is right on the black color background. In order to remove the black color background, using masking can be hassle, like a big hassle. So in order to
Mhm.
remove the black areas, all you have to do is in Photoshop, just change normal layer settings to screen. When you do that, you can actually see a transparent layer of that thing. As you guys can see, like I can move
Mm,
around and the black color mark is no longer there.
there
So
you go.
that's part one of it. There's part two of the glow. It gets more intense. I am going to grab in another special effects. There you
Oh
go.
wow.
Same thing. I am going to make sure that it's set up to screen, and I'm gonna just resize it even more. Again, at the back of my head, I want to make sure that the some sort of like a flare coming out from the stock image, like the device itself. So that's why I'm adding in more effects like this. This glow, what you can do is that you can actually move it right at the back of the device. I'm gonna drag in the glow and put it at the back here. And because it's night scene and everything, I want it to be more intense in terms of
Mm.
levels. So I'll press Control L on the layer itself. And as you guys can see, I can even make it more contrasty. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then this is where I do a bit of what do you call masking, just to make sure that it blends even more. So I'm going to do this like that. Make sure that it's going all over the place. The reason why I'm doing this masking is also to remove the sharp edges up here
Mm.
because of the original file, it was cut off. So there you go. Perfect. Again,
Already,
always
it's
watch my
yeah.
flow. My flow is always at the lower area because it's 33%. I don't want a very intense masking, just to make sure that everything goes all over the place. That looks good. Okay, just move it there.
And I think something worth noting as well is just throughout this piece, you've used it's all done non-destructively, and I think
Yes,
that's important to point out because I can imagine with these pieces that take so long to make that if you have to create something once, you don't want to have to recreate it every single time. You want to change one single thing.
exactly.
So for those that don't know the difference between destructive versus non-destructive, destructive would be just using the eraser tool and just erasing part of your image. So removing pixels and removing information from your image and from your layer. But working non-destructively, you create masks instead. So it's basically almost doing like a hide the layer within the layer in a sense, where you're choosing this is the part of the image or the layer that I want people to see, and this is what I don't want them to see. And
Yes,
that way you can move things around as you need, and you're not harming the integrity of your images either.
that's a great explanation. Thank you. Another beauty of masking is that by doing masking, I can always reuse my assets. Like if I
Mm.
were to cut it, right, and then within the same manipulation itself, I cannot get back the original file. Meaning I need to go and import back into my file, and my file gets increased, and again, boom, something will happen.
Yeah, something always happens. We got
Yeah.
a comment here from Bezoa.
Yeah.
BZOA, all in caps, that layer masks are fire, and I couldn't agree more. They're very
Thank
useful.
you.
I
So
would
right
say
now
that
what
this
I'm doing is
piece
that,
is fire too.
yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to increase the glow. What I'm doing right now is that I color picked the green color right here, just the bright area over here, and I just moved up from the device layer. Again, I don't want to touch it. I want to go right on top of my character, and I'm gonna just increase my brush, and I'm gonna just drop it there like this. I'm not sure if you guys seeing this, but the glow is increasing,
Yeah,
and
it's a
I would make it
subtle
even,
change. Maybe we can do
yeah,
a
very
before
subtle.
and after on this one.
Yeah, there you go. Get ready. Before and after.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I'm gonna just create another layer called color dodge. I want to create more intense color of the glow. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just put it there in the middle, so the ball glows even more. Let's do that one more time.
Even
Before,
more.
after. So this is meaning he managed to unlock the device. So this is what the father, again, if you remember the story, that he, this is what the father wants to create. Like this is the output. Like he want to unlock it, but then Curious Simon managed to help him.
Now I'm curious, is this sort of energy emanating from this device, is it a good energy or is it a bad energy?
It's a good energy.
Good vibes
Always good.
only.
Good vibes only. Yes. So I also have, in fact, another stock image. Again, this is to make sure that the glow it gets even bigger. Again, end of the day, I want to make sure that when you zoom out and whatever not, it has some sort of like a point of scene where I need to concentrate, which is the glow itself, right? I want to get it even more. So I am going to import my flare glow over here. Again, I have a lot of stock images to import.
Yeah,
Go
how
again.
big is your stock image library,
Oh,
if I might be so bold to ask?
it is huge. Again, reason is because, like I said, I like to reuse it for different purposes, and I always download like an Excel size. Again, so that I can just go crazy with it without worrying so much on like, oh, did I download medium size or whatever not. So yeah.
No, excellent. We actually have a comment just on the special effects from
Yes.
Bazoa. Maybe you could add an effect of the resulting glow on the character. So bounce light, I'm imagining, on the character itself, which I'm sure you're going to get to, because this is like
Yes.
the focal point
Correct.
of the scene.
Yeah. So the reason why I don't touch the character yet, because I want to fix the light, make sure that the intensity is there for me before moving into the character, so that I know how much light am I gonna reflect on the goggles, the hat, and everything. But yeah, thank you. I mean, I that shows that my viewers are actually having the potential of I just want to make sure that this looks wow, and they wow. But then again, thank you for the feedback. It's a very good feedback.
Yeah, and saying also it's green, so it's good energy.
Yes.
Which I think green is good.
Okay, now I'm gonna add a new layer called, this is where we add in all the lights. So let's call this a green lights or reflections and whatever not. This is where we will be adding the color. So I'm going to change it to soft light, or it can also be overlay. And start going in the photo itself, the artwork, and start coloring. Again, it's super important to make sure your flow is very less, not so much intensity. And this is where I'll be adding all the lightings going in on his face, the surface. Don't worry so much if it's not perfect, because we will be erasing and adding stuff even more.
Oh, this is great. And we talked just before the stream started, and I feel like this is a good point to bring it off. If you are new to doing like VFX lighting or just lighting in general in your photo manipulations, a really good tip that I'm going to paraphrase now is just looking on movie stills and just watching
Yeah.
movies as well, because then you'll see how, with Marvel movies, for example, you have amazing visual effects and it's colors everywhere, and it can be a great reference tool and also inspiration for your own work. So if you don't know how to do something, go watch a movie.
Yep.
That's my advice to you.
Back then, my parents used to say, stop watching TV, go read book. But now I'm saying, do watch movies. You'll get inspired.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it depends on what craft you're trying to improve.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not to say that reading books wouldn't improve your photo manipulations, because it's all about storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling in books, but yeah, to get inspired, try to absorb as much information and reference, and just be curious. And I think anyone will do well.
Curious Simon.
Exactly.
Title of this article. Try to be curious.
Fantastic.
Yeah. When you're curious, you get to like, okay, I want to do this. I want to do that. I mean, that's how my career starts anyway. I was so curious. What can Photoshop do? Oh my God.
So many things.
It's just a magical thing. Again, it's just a software, but then I'm always amazed like how a human brain plus the software itself can generate. Like for example, this artwork itself, it's not real, right? Like for example, it's just an imagination of my own thinking. But then imagine if I were to use this stock image, if I give you the exact same stock image, you probably will be thinking the other infinite, you know what they call infinite possibilities? So other possibilities that you can think of out of this same stock image. So yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, that brings me to a question I'd written down. Have you ever
Okay.
considered taking and using your own photographs for photo manipulations?
Oh, I did though. I mean, did couple of it. Start of my career where I like to transform myself into superheroes. That's how it started. Again, because I need a stock image. I don't have money. I was a student and all that. But as times goes by, you want things. You want to get things fast. Like for example, okay, I need this device right now. Like I might not have luxury of time to go and do a photo shoot. So yeah, it's vice versa. If you're a full-time person who like to manipulate, you should cater some time to just get as much as you can, like photos, and then work on your art. Then you become a one whole piece where it belongs to you. Like you never even have to borrow anybody's photos. So,
And a follow-up question to that, actually, would you consider doing a collaboration with the photographers? You commission them, or you create, a story together, and they do the photos, and you mash them all together into a piece. I think that would
definitely,
be
I'm up for
really
it.
cool.
I'm up for it.
Okay, you
Okay,
heard
end
it
of the
here,
day.
photographers.
Yes. Whoever
Let's go.
wants, DM me. Okay, right now I'm going to quickly change my color into a white tone, slightly whitish and green. Again, because I just changed my color to color dodge to bring out the intensity of the glow, so that it's not pure white. Pure green each time, because the closer you are in towards light, usually it's not so much of the color. It's like intensity. I think there's like a white in it, so I'm going to add in a bit of like white intensity around my subject. Again, it's you can see it's literally glowing. It depends on the brush that you're using. Right now I'm using like a very soft brush, so that it glows over the stock image. So yeah.
Amazing. I mean, this is truly becoming more and more of a magical piece. So yeah, really excited for what you're gonna do
I'm
next.
excited. This is beyond what I thought it would be, because again, this is
Oh,
my
that's
first
incredible.
try. Yeah.
Really, I don't believe that for a second.
I've done so many similar ways. That's why I say I like to imagine the back of my head. Sometimes you might get as close to what you thought it is going to be, and sometimes it doesn't. But it's okay. There's no right or wrong. You don't have, again, end of the day, I am literally enjoying creating this. So enjoying time
Absolutely.
creating something is never a waste of time. It's a perfect time.
Very, very well said.
I'm gonna just do that and use my eraser to remove the area. Again, see, without the, okay, now we're gonna do the before and after so that you guys can see. If I remove the green glow and the green light layer, see what do you get? Boom! So
Ah,
let's do that one
not
more
as
time.
nice.
Yeah, one more time. Let's on it back. Boom. So yeah,
It really does
every
come alive. It's incredible.
right, the amount of lightings that's needed, and there are times where I think background also helps in order to create more white effects. So I'm gonna go quickly right on top of this background, and I'm gonna just change this to soft light, and I'm gonna just increase the light for the background so that it gets even wow. There you go.
Even more wow. Fantastic. And I
So
will also give you a heads up that we have, if I can do the
uh-huh.
maths correctly, 25 minutes to go.
Oh wow, that's good.
I'm going to try that
That's
one more
good.
time because I don't know if that was correct. Let's see. So 10. No, in fact, it is 15.
15. Oh, that's perfect because I have one last stock image to add on. Maybe I should just continue coloring. I just need 5 minutes for that one.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of time.
There's also one last piece that I want to add in to make sure that it looks realistic, or should I say that it will sync together with Curious Simon. It's also an important what do you call a stock image because it
Mhm.
will then it will make sure that Simon looks literally like a son of a great steampunk engineer. This device, it's not a device. I know, okay, no more suspense. I'll just probably add in now. I am going to bring in one last piece. It will be. I actually did a research like this is a must stock image to add in. It's
And as you're
called the.
bringing. Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
He has his. So this is they call it a steampunk jetpack. So there's something that the kids
Amazing.
likes to wear at the back. So I want to make sure that I add this in so that it looks like a realistic manipulation. So yeah.
Fantastic. And as you're adding in
Oh.
the final piece to the puzzle, I will just remind everyone that we have now a little under 15 minutes to go. So if you have any more questions for Ramesh before we fly away on our steampunk jetpack, let us know in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. Let's see, we are experiencing some brief technical issues yet again, but that is okay. I'm going to refresh Ramesh and he'll be back soon.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I bet.
Let's see. You are glitching a little bit, but I
It's saving.
think we've got you back.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll just checking my computer if everything's okay.
Yes,
let's try
perfect.
to.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. I'm gonna just on it, open back file. I'm not sure why that happens. Probably some back. Is it okay?
Let's see. I'm gonna ask you if you can just go into your camera settings and lowering.
Oh, it says that I'm.
Yeah, lowering the resolution of your camera just a bit because we are dealing with some pretty heavy.
Okay, I'm
heavy
changing
images here.
I'm changing it to high definitions. Let's see if that helps.
perfect.
I think that looks
Yeah,
good.
that's the first port of call. But let's waste no time and get back to the jetpack.
Cool. No. Is everything okay?
We are trucking along. It's a
I'm
little
gonna just
bit laggy at times. I think it might just be due to the large size of images that we're working with here, and of course this is live. These things are bound to happen, but I think we can persevere.
okay. Let's just make sure that we finish this piece because again we're looking forward for like 2 days already. Okay, that's perfect.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah. But yeah, everything is going good so far. Like as in like I am getting there. Oh wow. Yay. And of course we are going to group this, call this jetpack, and let's not forget to also color it so that everything looks good in terms of like the color. The green should be there onto the jetpack. So there you go. Again, I'm looking at the light. The light is coming here, just adding a bit of green there, green here, and green there. And I am going to also add in some shadows right at the bottom of the jet. Let's call this overlay and change my color to black. And I am going to do this. So basically he just parked his back over here and
Yeah, initially I thought you were going to pop it on his back, but I can imagine it looks pretty heavy. So it's good
imagine
to take
this,
it off
right?
to get some rest.
There you go. So basically he dropped his back at the bottom of the rock and then lie down like this and then start, making it work, the device. So yeah, that's what I imagine.
Absolutely.
And
storytelling in every piece.
And the reason why, okay, if you notice, I added like a black color right on top of it is because if I want to increase the overlay color, I don't have like color it all over again. I just drop that and I can just mask it. So because I need the black over there so that the light won't reach that area, and I will increase the light here so that I get back the color, the green color that I was talking about. And then another thing is that I think this rock has to look even darker. So I'm going to go here and I am going to make it even darker to match with my back. And I am going to erase this part of the stone so that the brightness goes all over.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Yay! So I think, okay, how long more we have?
We have 5 to 6 minutes, I would say.
Okay, perfect. That's great. I am going to just darken even his feet even more so that it matches the lighting. So I am going to just go up here, call soft light, and darken the area. Oh, perfect. And change one to a normal. Go.
And we actually have a great question here from Edith Sanchez. So welcome to the stream. And before that, I will just say that Kishan Patel was saying awesome design. But
you.
Edith, to your question, for someone who is a beginner, what advice would you recommend in Photoshop? So I guess beginner getting to know Photoshop. Do you have any hot tips?
Yeah. I would say if you're a beginner, there are things that you probably have seen in Pinterest or even on Behance under Discover. You get to see many types of designs, right? Was done using Photoshop. See the things that you like. And I want you to see if you can replicate it. I know it's going to be hard in first time around, but there's always that first step, right? So open up two window, put one at the side, the reference photo, and then see if you can just grab in some image. You don't have to be perfect in first time around anyway, right? Because it's just getting started, so that you get familiarized with all the tools. Like what's the polygonal lasso for? How do I select subject? Okay, now I want to erase stuff. How do I erase stuff? That's the only way. There's no way to go in and okay, I want to create a masterpiece. It's good if you can, but as a beginner there's always this curiosity, right? Like I said, okay, now that I've done this, I want to replicate it. How do I duplicate, or is there a stamp tool that I can use and all that? So make sure that you have the curiosity, and you have a bit of this child mindset. I like when it comes to, okay, again, I'm married, I have two kids. I always like when they observe things. Like for example, if I buy a ball or something, when I give it to them, right, they go like, so I want to look at my artwork like that every day. Getting up, getting things done, so that you can enjoy what you're doing. Similarly, if you're a beginner, make sure you have the excitement. Like, oh my god, I want to do something today. So excitement, beginners, please, you have them embedded in you, and then start creating stuff. So yeah. Hope I'm not talking too much.
No, that was wonderful. Usually I'm the one that brings in like the feel good cheesy advice, but I pass down the baton to you, sir. That was wonderful.
So yeah, always have this. Never lose the inner child of you. Never lose that. It's something. I mean, even though I'm already old, I always have that child thing in me. I get excited when I see stuff, just to make sure I can go home. I can create more beautiful stuff. Once you become serious, I'm sorry, but you lose something there. So yeah.
I think it was, I don't remember what artist said it, and I will definitely look it up after the stream. But kind of you build up your sort of your childlike wonder and curiosity, and
Yep.
what a great artist is someone who has been able to retain sort of their inner child and their childlike wonder when they're still grown up, when they are grown up. So I think encouraging your inner child and staying curious is essential, really.
Yeah. Good. Like, then only imagination gets wild, or you get more ideas coming in. If you restrict your mind to say that clouds can only be this color, has to always be blue. Why did you make it yellow? I'm like, there are times when it's sunset it turns to orange, right? There are many colors. There's also like what do you call the northern lights and all that. You know how colorful it is. You can see it's dancing. All this should cheer you up, and don't limit your mind so much to realistic stuff. There's a lot of like things that's happening beyond the universe that we don't know, right? Like the black hole. That's the reason why I even have like a big quote in front of me. The space and everything. Because space gets me excited because it's unknown. When it's unknown, you can think anything that you want. So yeah.
Absolutely. Now we do have, I would say, 2 minutes left, and that is cutting it a little bit close. Now I know what fun feels like. Oh, and we're done.
Oh.
Amazing.
Yes, we're done.
Fantastic. So, now, is it possible to do a grand before and after on this piece?
Let's do that. So I'm gonna start from top. I'm gonna slowly start hiding stock images to show you guys, how or why like things and shadows super important when it comes to photo manipulation, right? Let's start with jetpack. There you go. It's gone. The right plan is gone. The character itself. Let's start with the green light, and then we turn off the light. Take the shoes off. Take the pants off. The back here, we do a bit of refining onto the strap. We call this bracelet thingy going on. The goggles, the cap itself, and then how we added the shadows on top of him. There you go. And then, of course, the boy itself, we added some shadows, darken it. This is the original image. So I'm darkening it, and then I'm going to also turn off the device where you get to see where the colors are coming from. So yeah, we have come that far.
Fantastic. What a journey. what a journey
What a
this has
journey,
been.
exactly.
Yeah, I just posted it in the chat for people that want to click through, but for those of you tuning in, beyond this live edition of the stream, so in replay land, Ramesh, where can people find out more about you and find more of your work online?
Sure. So I think it's posted on on the chat. Always on Instagram most of the time. I share a lot of like links, tutorials on my Instagram. Also check out my IGTV. There's also reels where I show before and after, so that you get the idea how it was done. So you know that designing could be a hassle, a fun journey. It's not even a hassle. It's a fun journey where you acting stuff. It's so much fun. So yeah, end of the day, I'm just enjoying what I do. Make sure that you also enjoy in whatever you do. Doesn't matter designing, baking a cake, wall, painting a wall. Always enjoy. So yeah.
Fantastic. Now, if you can, could you put this on completely full screen as we do
Oh
our
yes, I will.
just so we can see the full wonder of this. It is incredible. I love it. I feel so inspired and curious. But on that note, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll have more streams next week. We are out of time. Thank you, Ramesh. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.